Welcome back, Crammers, to question 1. Write 0.3 as a percentage. We can write this as 0.3 over 1, and the percentage is over 100. So we can simply multiply both sides by 100. And when multiplying by 100, we move the decimal to the right twice. So we have 30 over 100. So we have 30%. Write 29 over 100 as a decimal. We can simply divide 29 by 100, and when you divide, you move to the left. So we have 29, move to the left, 1, 2, put a decimal there, and 0. So we have 0.29. Write 17 over 20 as a decimal. We can rewrite 20 as 2 times 10. And I can see here that 17 divided by 2 is 8.5 over 10, since this has been cancelled out. And when dividing by 10, simply move to the left one. So we have 0.85. Write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. So we can see we have negative and positive. Let's start with negative first. The value farthest from 0 is the smallest. So we have here negative 9 is farthest from 0. Then we have negative 7. Then we have negative 3. And now we have the positive. So we start with the smallest value, which is 8. And then 16. Write these numbers in order of size. Start with the smallest number. First, we can format all of these. So we have 0.044, 0.104, 0.04. We can put 0 here, 0.009, and 0.200. Now that they're all formatted, we can see that the smallest is actually 0.09, 0.009. Then moving on, we have over here 0.044 and 0.04. We can see that 0.04 is smaller. Then we have 0.044. Then we have 0.104. And finally 0.2. There are 400 cars in a car park. 3/10 of the cars are gray. Work out how many cars in the car park are not gray. So 10 over 10 is 1 whole, because 10 divided by 10 is 1. If we subtract the number of cars which are gray, we can then find out how many are not gray. So we subtract 3 over 10. We have 10 minus 3, 7 over 10. That means 70% are not gray. Now with that, we have the total. We can multiply it with the probability, and we can find that 400 times 7 over 10 can be simplified. So 400 divided by 10, that's just 40. So in the end, we have 40 times 7, which is 280. Question 2. Here are 7 shapes on the grid. Write down 2 letters of 2 shapes that are congruent. That means they have the same area and they can be rotated into each other. Okay, so here we have A, which is not congruent to anything else, so it's not our answer. We have a D, which is not congruent to anything else. We have F, we have G, we have B. Now we're left with E and C. Why is that? Because they both have the same area, which is 5. But notice how when I rotate E exactly 90 degrees, we get this shape. And notice how this shape is exactly the same as C. So that means our answer is E and C. Okay. 2 of the 7 shapes are similar but not congruent. Write down the letters of these 2 shapes. So what similar but not congruent means is that one shape has to be a multiple of the other shape. So let's see here. We have only 2 that fit this description. And another easy way to find this is it's the exact same shape but enlarged. Here we have A, which looks like this, and here we have F, which looks like this. And the reason they're similar is because A has exactly 1, 2, 3 squares in it, and F has 12 squares in it. And since 12 is a multiple of 3, these two shapes are similar, but since 12 is not equal to 3, they are not congruent. So we can simply put here A and F. Shape F has exactly one line of symmetry. Draw this line of symmetry. So line of symmetry is when you can fold it perfectly in half and no parts overlap. That is simply this point. Work out the perimeter of shape B. So since this is a centimeter grid, we can actually just count how many edges there are. So we can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 centimeters. Work out the area of shape G. So shape G is here. And we just have to count how many boxes are inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That gives us 8 centimeters squared. Question 3. Here are the first 5 terms of a number sequence. Write down the next term of the sequence. We can say that the difference between 13 and 7 is plus 6. And we can say that the difference between 19 and 13 is plus 6. So we can assume that the next value will simply be 31 plus 6, which is 37. 37. Explain how you found your answer in part A1. We add 6. The 30th term in the sequence is 181. Work out the 20th term in the sequence. We could use the formula here, but actually, since the 30th term and the 28th term are given, we know that the difference is 6. So actually, we can simply write 181 minus 6 times 2. Since we have to find the 28th term, we only have to find the difference twice from the 30th term. So you can write 181 minus 12. That gives us 169. 169. Brian says that 96 is a number in the sequence. Brian is wrong. Explain why. So in the sequence, we can see that 7, 13, 19, 25, 31 are all odd numbers. Why is that? Because an even number plus an odd number will always be an odd number no matter what. So, no matter how many times you add 6 to the sequence, you will never get 96 because 96 is an even number. Question 4. The bar chart shows information about the weight in millions of tons of the potatoes produced by each of the 4 countries in 2016, given to the key of millions of tons. In 2016, one of these 4 countries produced 11 million tons of potatoes. Which country was it? So first off, we have to look at the y-axis and look for the number 11. It has to be here after 10. And we draw a line perpendicular to that. We can see that only one country meets that requirement, and it's country B. In 2016, country E produced 7 million tons of potatoes. Draw a bar on the bar chart to show this information. So again, we look for number 7. So this is 6, this is 7. We draw a line perfectly parallel, and we simply draw our bar chart. In 2016, the weight of potatoes produced by country C was greater than the weight of potatoes produced by country A. How many million tons greater? That means we have to find the difference. So that means C subtract A. So if we find country C, we can see that they produced 31 million tons. 31 million. And then country A produced 20 million. So 31 minus 20 is 11. So the difference is 11 million tons. Question 5. Jian has 2 fair spinners, which means they're unbiased. Spinner A is 3-sided and can land on 1, 2, or 3. Spinner B is 5-sided and can land on 2, 4, 6, 8, or 10. Jian speaks in spinner once. He adds together the number of the spinner A and the number of spinner B to get his total score. Complete the table to show all possible total scores. 5 of the total scores have been done for you. So we can see that here 1 plus 2 is 3. So all we have to do is complete the table. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 plus 6 is 8. 3 plus 6 is 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. 3 plus 8 is 11. 1 plus 10 is 11. And 3 plus 10 is 13. Find the probability that Jian's total score is an odd number. So to find the probability, it's simply the number of times it occurs over the total. So we can see here that the total is simply 3 times 5. So that is 15. We know that the total times this can happen is 15 no matter what, since we have a table here of exactly 15 numbers. Now, the number of times is how many odd numbers there are. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 possible times. So the probability is 10 over 15 or 2 over 3. Jian's total score is less than 9. Okay, so we simply do this again. We know that the total is 15, and we count how many are less than 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's about it, just 8. Because it's less than 9, it's not equal to 9, so we don't count this number. So 8 over 15 is our answer. Question 6. Here are two special offers for buying dog food. Special offer A and special offer B. Gaspar buys 24 tins of food using special offer A. Anna buys 24 tins of dog food using special offer B. Work out the difference between the amount that Gaspar pays and the difference between the amount that Anna pays. That simply means that Gaspar will get a higher value, and we simply subtract Anna's value. So we can see here that for Gaspar, he buys 24 tins. So we know it's 24. And it's $140 per tin. So we multiply by 1.4. However, we can see here that the special offer is buy 1 tin, get 1 tin half price. So to buy 1 tin, that's 1 whole. So we can write 1 over 1. And get 1 tin half price. So we can add 1 over 2. We can actually change 1 over 1 to 2 over 2 plus 1 over 2. That equals 3 over 4, or exactly 75%. Because if he buys 1 whole tin and gets 1 tin half price, he'll get 75%. That means 25% off on the amount he pays. So we can multiply this by 3 over 4. And we can see that Gaspar's value is given as 24 times 1.4 times 3 over 4. That gives us 25.2. 25.2. He spends a total of $25.2. And now we can calculate for Anna. Normally, a pack of 6 tins goes for 7.2. So that means of the 24 tins, she buys them in packs of 6. So we divide by 6 and we multiply by 7.2. On top of that, she gets 20% off on each pack of 6 tins. We know that 100% is a full amount. So 100 minus 20 is simply equal to 80. And since this is a percentage, we can write this as 80 over 100. Or we can write this as 8 over 10. Or we can write this as 4 over 5. And now that we know that she only pays 4/5, we can multiply this by 4 over 5 to find out the total value Anna pays. We have here 24 divided by 6 times 7.2 times 4 over 5. We have 23.04. 23.04. And it says to find the difference between the amount that Gaspar pays and the amount that Anna pays. So we simply have to subtract Gaspar's amount, 25.2, minus Anna's amount, which is 23.04. And we can use our calculator here as 25.2 minus 23.04, which gives us $2.16. $2.16. Question 7. A circle has the radius 6.5 centimeters. Calculate the circumference of the circle, giving your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So we know that the formula for circumference is 2 pi r. And we can actually put radius in to find our answer. So we have 2 pi 6.5. We can simplify this. 2 times 6.5 is 13. So our answer is 13 pi. And now we can use our calculator here. We have 13 into pi, which gives us 40.84, which is equal to 40.84 centimeters as our circumference, correct to 3 significant figures. And if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, if it's 1 to 4, we round down. If it's 5 to 9, we round up. And since the value after the third figure is 4, that means we round down. So our final answer is 40.8 centimeters as our circumference. Question 8. Marie has 200 flowers. Of these flowers, 37 are white, 25 are yellow, 42 are pink. The rest of the flowers are red. Give the number of red flowers as a fraction of total numbers, simplifying your fraction. So we know that 200 is the total. We can rewrite this to 200 over 200 because 200 over 200 is 1 and 1 is simply 1 whole. We can rewrite 37 to 37 over 200, 25 to 25 over 200, and 42 to 42 over 200. And we can add all these values. If we're able to subtract all the white flowers, the yellow flowers, and the pink flowers from the total, we can then find how many red flowers there are. And we can use our calculator here. We have 37 over 200, so that's 37 plus 25 plus 42. They have the same denominator. We have 104 over 200, so that's equal to 104 over 200. And now we can subtract this from the full value. So we have 200 minus 104 over 200. So we can put this into a calculator, which gives us 200 minus 104, which is 96, divided by 200, which is 12 over 25. So we write here 12 over 25. Question 9. 3 cups each contain 200 milliliters. 4 jugs each contain X milliliters. Emma pours all the water from the 3 cups and the 4 jugs into a container, and the total amount that she gets is 3.5 liters. Work out the value of X. So we know that if we combine these, we will get 3.5 liters. However, it says here that each cup contains 200 milliliters. So we simply multiply. 3 times 200 is equal to 600. And 4 times X is 4X. So we know that when she combines 3 cups and 4 jugs, she gets 3.5 liters. When converting liters to milliliters, we simply multiply by 1000. So we have 3.5, and we move to the right 3 times. So we get 1, 2, 3, and put a 0. So that's 3,500 milliliters. So we know that 600 milliliters plus 4x is equal to 3,500 milliliters. We can bring 600 to the other side and we get 3,500 minus 600 is equal to 4x. And we get 4x is equal to 2,900. We can then divide both sides by 4 to isolate x. Divide by 4. X is equal to 2,900 divided by 4, which is 725. 725 milliliters. 725 milliliters. Question 10. The diagram shows a kite drawn on a centimeter grid. On the centimeter grid below, draw a rectangle that has the same area as the kite. So we can see the kite is actually made of two triangles here. And we know that the area of a triangle is simply 1 over 2 times base times height. Now we can see that the triangle is reflected twice. So that means our final value is 2 times 1 over 2 times base times height. And the 2's cancel out. So all we have is base times height. We know the base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6. And the height is 1, 2. So that's 2. So that means our total area is 12. Now that we know the area of the kite, which is 12, we can then draw a rectangle that has the same area as the kite. We can simply draw this as 2 and 6. We can count all the squares to make sure this is correct. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And since the area of the kite is 12 and the area of the rectangle is 12, we are correct. In 11, simplify c times c times c times c times c times c. When multiplying powers, these are all to the power of 1, we simply add them. So we get c to the power of 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So that's c to the power of 6. Simplify 2h cubed plus 5h cubed minus h cubed. So the coefficient of h here is 1. So you simply write 2 plus 5 minus 1 to h cubed. So 2 plus 5, that's 7. 7 minus 1 is 6. So we get 6h cubed. Expand x into x plus 5. When multiplying polynomials, we always multiply to everything inside the bracket. So we can see here, x times x, as I said before, x times x to the power of 1 is just adding the power. So that's 1 plus 1. So we get x squared. So x squared plus x times 5, that's just 5x. Factorize 9y minus 12. I can see here that the highest common factor here is 3. So I can write 3 here. And since y is not shared between them, I can go ahead and keep it inside the bracket. So 9y divided by 3 is 3y minus 12 divided by 3 is 4. So our final answer is 3 into 3y minus 4. Rosanna sells M small bags of marbles and P large bag of marbles. Each small bag contains 15 marbles. Each large bag contains 40 marbles. The total number of marbles that Rosanna sells is T. Draw down a formula for T in terms of M and P. So when it says in terms, that means T is equal to something done with M and something done with P. So we can see here that M is actually how many small bags Rosanna sells multiplied by 15. So we can write here the total is equal to 15 times M, that's 15M, plus 40 times P. So we have 40P, and that is our final answer. T is equal to 15M plus 40P. Question 12. Ingrid buys a bag in Sweden. The price of the bag is 1,342 Swedish krona, and the price of the identical bag in Finland is 125 euros. So we're dealing with two different units. Using the exchange rate of 1 euro is to 11 Swedish krona, Work out how much cheaper the bag is in Sweden than it is in Finland. Give the units of your answer. So first off, we can see here that 1 euro is equivalent to 11 Swedish krona. And we have here that the price of the bag is 1,342 Swedish krona, but we don't know what the exchange rate is. We can multiply both sides by 1,342 to remove this denominator. 1,342 times 1 is simply 1,342, and we write the same denominator divided by 11 is equal to x. So we can use our calculator here. 1,342 divided by 11 gives us 122 euros. So we converted this to euros. Now we can see that the bag in Finland is 125. Now that we have to find the difference, we simply write 125 minus 122. That is equal to 3 euros. Do not forget to give the units as it's asked in the question. So we write here 3 and we write here euros. Crammers question 13. Hazel is buying a snack and a drink. She can have a bar of chocolate or some fruit or a packet of crisps as her snack. She can then have orange juice or apple juice or water as her snack. Write down all the possible combinations Hazel can have. So we can see here, she can start off with chocolate, that's B, and then she can choose juice, or again, she can choose chocolate and apple juice, or again, she can have chocolate and water. Then again, she can change her mind and not have chocolate to begin with. Instead, she can have fruit with orange juice, or she can have fruit with apple juice, or she can have fruit with water. And then again, she can either choose crisps with orange juice, crisps with apple juice, and crisps with water. And that's actually our final answer. Question 14. Describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. Let's imagine this is the head of shape A and this is the head of shape B. We can see that it turns 180 degrees to face downwards. So we can say rotated 180 degrees, and we have to name the point at which it rotates about. We can see that this corner is congruent to this corner, and if we simply draw a line, any point which intersects on the vertices is the point of rotations. So rotated 180 degrees about point, and then we simply write the coordinates of the point, 0, 0. On the grid, reflect shape A in the line with equation x is equal to -1. So first we have to find -1 on the x-axis and draw a perpendicular line. Since it's reflected, we can imagine this as a mirror. It is 3 blocks from the mirror, so that means inside the mirror it'll also be 3 blocks in. But it'll maintain its height. It will merely be reflected into the mirror. So this is the reflection of shape A. Notice how it still has the exact same area, but it's flipped. To question 15, use your calculator to work out the value of 5.21 plus 6.37 divided by 9.8 plus 8.3 squared. Write down all the figures displayed on your calculator. So we just have to input this, 5.21 plus 6.37, which is then divided by 9.8. And we add 8.3 squared. We get 70.07, 70.07, 1632, 16325. Question 16. 3 subsets are given. Complete the Venn diagram for this information. The point at which A and B intersect is simply what's common between the two. So we can see that A has 2, B has 2, A has 3, but B does not have B. A has 7, B has 7, A has 8, and B has 8, and there are no more common factors, so we simply write 2, 7, and 8. Now we simply write everything that's inside A, but not inside B, so we have 3, 8, 3, and 9. Now we write everything that's in B, but not in A, so we simply have 1, 4, 5, and 10. Now, do not forget that there is a subset outside of A and B, so we simply cross out everything that we found in A and B already. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5. We do not have 6, we have 7, 8, 9, and 10, so that means we simply write 6 here. Question 17, here's some integers where A is the smallest and D is the largest. The mode of the integers is 9, the median is 8, the range is 4. Work out the values of A, B, C, and D. Now when dealing with mode, median, or range, we arrange them from smallest to largest. And as seen here, if A is the smallest and D is the largest, it's already arranged in chronological order. Let's start off with mode. The single most common integer is the mode, and since the mode is 9 and the most common is D, we can assume that D is 9. The median of the integers is 8, so the median is simply the middle two combined and divided by 2. So we know that C plus D divided by 2 is equal to 8. We already found D to be 9, so C plus 9 divided by 2 is equal to 8. Multiply both sides by 2 to remove the denominator. C plus 9 is equal to 16. We bring 9 to the other side. C is equal to 16 minus 9. That means C is equal to 7. And the range of the integers is 4. So the range is simply the largest minus the smallest. So we know that the range is 4, so we can simply write the largest minus the smallest is equal to 4. Since this is arranged in chronological order where D is the largest and we already found D to be 9, we can simply write 9 minus smallest is equal to 4. We bring smallest to the other side and 4 here. So we have 9 minus 4 is equal to smallest. Therefore, 5 is the smallest. And since the smallest is A, that means A is equal to 5. Now, we still have to find B, and it's given here that these are integers. So we simply have to find an integer between 5 and 7. The only integer between these two is 6. Question 18. On the grid, draw and label with its equation the straight line. So we can see here that y is equal to 1. We simply look at the y-axis, find 1, and draw a perpendicular line. This is the equation y is equal to 1. Next off, x is equal to 2. We look at the x-axis, we look for 2, and we draw a perpendicular line. So this is now x is equal to 2. Now we have x plus y is equal to 7. If we imagine x to be 0, then y is equal to 7. If we imagine y to be 0, then x is equal to 7. So we can simply write here, when x is 0, y is 7. We can put a cross here. When y is 0 and x is equal to 7, we can put a cross here. And we simply connect those two crosses. And we label this x plus y is equal to 7. B. Show by shading on the grid the region that satisfies all three of the inequalities. When dealing with inequalities, if it is less than equal to, it's down and to the left. If it is greater than equal to, it's up and to the right. So we can see here y is greater than and equal to 1. So we simply look for the equation y is equal to 1. And because it's greater than, we go up. So that means this is up. X is greater than or equal to 2. And greater than is to the right. So if this is x is equal to 2, we simply go to the right. And finally, x plus y is less than equal to 7. If it's down, we simply write down. And that means that this triangle is R. Question 19. The airplane traveled from New York City to Los Angeles, traveling a distance of 3,980 kilometers in 5 hours and 24 minutes. Work out the average speed of the airplane, giving your answer in kilometers per hour correct to the nearest whole number. We can see here that the hours are given as 5 hours and 24 minutes, 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes. So we can actually write this as 5 hours plus 24 over 60 minutes. And since it's kilometers per hour, we can simply write 3,980 divided by the hours is 5 plus 24 over 60. And we can put this into a calculator to find our answer. We have 3,980 divided by 5 plus fraction 24 over 60. We get 737.03, 737.03 to the nearest whole number. Since this is 0, we round down, and we have 737 kilometers per hour. Question 20. Show that 5/1 over 3 minus 2/6 over 7 equals 2/10 over 21. We can change this from mixed fractions to improper fractions by multiplying the whole number with the denominator and adding that to the numerator. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. And we write the same denominator, which is 3. We write the subtraction sign and we move on. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 6. So that's 20 over 7 is equal to 210 over 21. Since they don't have the same denominator, we can't subtract here. We first have to find the LCM. The LCM of 3 and 7 is 21. 21 divided by 3 is 7. And we can use our calculator here. So we have 7 times 16, which gives us 112. So we have 112. And 21 divided by 7 is 3. And 3 times 20 is 60. So we can write here equals 210 over 21. Now that we have these values, we can find out what is 112 minus 60. We get 52. We get 52. We have 52 over 21 is equal to 210 over 21. And we have to find the first multiple of 21 before 52. I can see that the first multiple before 52 is 42. And 42 divided by 21 is equal to 2. So I can simply write here 2 over 21. And 52 minus 42 is simply 10. Is equal to 10 over 21. Question 21. The diagram shows an 8-sided shape, HG being 28 centimeters, FG being 12 centimeters, and AB is equal to EF, which are both 5 centimeters. The height of the shape is 20 centimeters. CD is parallel to HG. The area of the shape is given as 434 centimeters squared. Find the length of CD. So we can see the shape is actually comprised of both a trapezium and a regular rectangle. If we can find the area of CD and the rectangle, we can subtract it from here to find what CD is. So let's see. The area of a trapezium is given as height over 2 times A plus B. A being the top part and B being the bottom part. Height being this distance. So we can simply write here that the height is 20 minus 12 to find this, which is 8. So this is 8 centimeters. So we can write here 8 divided by 2. Okay, we can write here 434 is equal to 8 divided by 2 into, we don't know what CD is, so we can simply write CD plus, and the base is given as, so if this is 28, and 5 centimeters here, 5 centimeters here, so we simply write 28 minus 5 minus 5, or 28 minus 10 gives us 18. So that means the bottom here is 18 centimeters. So we simply add this with 18. Now that we have the area of the trapezium, we can then find the area of the rectangle. And the area of the rectangle is already given as length times width, which is 28 times 12. Plus 28 times 12. We can simplify this. 434 is equal to 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 into CD plus 18 plus 28 times 12. You can use our calculator here. 28 times 12 gives us 336. 336. We can then continue to multiply. 434 is equal to 4 times CD, so we'll just write 4CD plus 18 times 4. So we can find out 18 times 4 gives us 72. So we write here 72 plus 336. We can then combine these two values. So 72 plus 336 gives us 408. So that means 434 is equal to 4CD plus 408. We can bring 408 to the other side. So we have 434 minus 408 is equal to 4 times CD. So we can find this out. 434 minus 408 gives us 26. So we simply have 26 is equal to 4CD. And we divide both sides by 4. Divide by 4 to find what CD is. And we can see that 26 divided by 4 gives us 6.5. That means CD is 6.5 centimeters. This is 6.5 centimeters. Question 22. The diagram shows triangle PQR. Work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to one decimal place. So we can see here, we have a right angle triangle. We have an angle. We have an adjacent side and a hypotenuse. So we can use SOHCAHTOA. I can see that we have both adjacent and we have hypotenuse. So we have to look for adjacent hypotenuse, not here. Adjacent hypotenuse, not here. So that means we have to use CA. So that's cos into angle, which is 42, is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse, which is x, over hypotenuse 9.5. We can arrange this by multiplying 9.5 on both sides, remove the denominator, 9.5. And now we can find that x is equal to 9.5 cos 42. And we close the bracket. We get 7.05. 7.05. And since we have to write to one decimal place, we simply look at the value after, which is 5. And since 1, 2, 3, 4, we round down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we round up. 5 means we round up. So we have x is equal to 7.1 centimeters. 7.1 centimeters. Question 23. Change the speed of 81 kilometers per hour to a speed in meters per second. So we can actually write this as 81 kilometers over 1 hour. Now, to convert kilometers to meters, we simply multiply by 100. So 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. So we can write here times 1,000. Now, for hours, we know that 1 hour is equivalent to 60 minutes, which 60 minutes is equivalent to 60 seconds. So what that means is 1 hour is equal to 60 times 60 seconds, or 1 hour is equivalent to 3,600 seconds. So we simply multiply this by 3,600. So that gives us a total of, when multiplying by a value of 10, we simply move to the right. And since this has 3 zeros, we move to the right 3 times. So we have 81, 3 times. So we have 1, 2, 3. We put 3 zeros. Divided by 1 times 3,600. So we simply have 3,600. These zeros cancel out. And we can use our calculator here to find our answer, which is 810 divided by 36. That gives us 22.5 meters per second. 22.5 meters per second. In 24, Beznaz makes 300 celebration cards so that the number of birthday cards to anniversary cards to congratulation cards is given as 7:5:3. 2/5 of them have numbers on them for the birthday cards. 36% of the anniversary cards have numbers on them, and none of the congratulation numbers have numbers on them. work out what fraction of 300 numbers have numbers on them. So we can see that the anniversary cards and the birthday cards have them. So we have to find the value of number cards of birthdays, number of cards for anniversaries that have numbers, and combine them. So first off, we can see that the ratios given is 7:5:3. If we find the sum of this gives us 15. Why are we finding the sum? If we can figure out that 300 divided by 15 give us 1 unit, we can then multiply it with our value to find out what we need. So we can see here that 300 divided by 15 is 20. So we can see here that the number of birthday cards is given as 7. So we write here 7 times 20. So that's 140 birthday cards. Then we have the next one, which is 5. 5 times 20 is 100 anniversary cards. Then we have 3. 3 times 20 is 60 anniversary cards. And notice when we add 140, 160, we get the total, which is 300. Now, we cannot combine this right away because it says only 2/5 of the birthday cards have numbers on them. So we simply write 2/5 times 140. And we can find this out using our calculator. We have 2/5 times 140, which gives us 56. So we have 56 birthday cards with a number, and then we have to find 36% of the anniversary cards. So we simply have to find 36/100 times 100, and actually this cancels out. So we know that 36 cards have a number on them. So anniversary cards with a number. And it says here, none of the congratulation cards have a number on them. So we can actually just write this as 0/100% times 60, which will give us 0 cards with a number on them. So we simply combine these two values. So we have 56 plus 36, give it as a fraction over the 300 cards. So divide it by 300 and give your answer in its simplest form. We can use our calculator here. We have 56 plus 36, which is then divided by 300. That gives us 23/75. 23/75 cards have a number on them. Question 25. Pasha invests $50,000 into a savings account for 4 years. He gets 1.3% per year compound interest. Find out how much money Pasha will have at the end of the 4 years, giving your answer correct to the nearest dollar. Now, we know that the formula for compound interest is A is equal to P into 1 plus R over 100 to the power of NT. A is the total amount. P is the principal amount, or the initial amount we invest. Pasha invests 50,000 into 1 plus R is the interest rate, which he gets 1.3% over 100. And N is the number of times he invests per year. It says here only invests once per year. And T is the number of years, which is 4 years. So we can actually simplify this to A is equal to 50,000 into 1 plus 1.3 over 100 is 1.013. And 1 times 4 is simply 4. We can put this into a calculator to find our answer, which is 50,000 times 1.013 to the power of 4. That gives us 52651. 52651.1, and correct to the nearest dollar. 1, 2, 3, 4, we round down. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we round up. And to the nearest dollar, the value after it is 1, so that means we round down. So that means our final amount is $52,651. Question 26. Solve the simultaneous equation. So clear algebraic working. Here we're going to be using substitution method, where we isolate one variable and input it or substitute it into the other equation. Here, I'm going to isolate y. So that means y is equal to 3x minus 7. And now that I found y, I can actually substitute it here to find what x is. 7x plus 3y, which we found to be 3x minus 7, is equal to 3. 7x plus 3 times 3, that's 9x. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21, is equal to 3. We bring 21 to the other side, and 7x plus 9x is 16x. We have 3 plus 21. 16x is equal to 3 plus 21, that's 24. And we can divide both sides by 16. Divide by 16, this cancels out. And we can use our calculator here. We have 24 divided by 16 gives us 3 over 2. So x is 3 over 2. 3 over 2. And now that we have what x is, we can substitute it into this equation to find out what y is. Y is equal to 3 times 3 over 2 minus 7. That means y is equal to 3 times 3. That is 9 over 2 minus 7. We can rewrite 7 to y is equal to 9 over 2. We can rewrite 7 to 14 over 2. And that means we have 9 minus 14. That gives us negative 5 over 2. Y is equal to negative 5 over 2. Question 27. Factorize x squared plus 5x minus 24. In order to do this, we'll be using finding square method, where we multiply the constant with the coefficient of x, which here is 1. We get negative 24. What we're trying to do here is find two values that when multiplied equal negative 24, but when added equal 5x. Here I can see we have 8 and negative 3. When we multiply 8 and negative 3, we get negative 24. But 8 minus 3 equals 5. So we can try here x squared plus 8x minus 3x minus 24. Notice how 8x minus 3x is still equal to 5x. We haven't changed the equation, we're just simplifying it. So now we can factorize x into x plus 8. X in plus 8. So we can see here 24 divided by 8 is negative 3. So now we combine these two, which gives us x minus 3. And we simply write this down, which is x plus 8. So now we can put here x minus 3 and x plus 8. Hence, solve x squared plus 5x minus 24 is equal to 0. What that means is the answers that we found here, we simply equate them to 0. X minus 3 is equal to 0. We bring that to the other side. That means x is equal to 3. So we can write here x is equal to 3. And we have here x plus 8 is equal to 0. We bring 8 to the other side. X is equal to negative 8. X is equal to negative 8. Question 28. Larry is a delivery man. He has 7 parcels to deliver in total. The mean weight of the 7 parcels is 2.7 kilograms. Larry delivers 3 of the parcels, each having a weight of W kg. The mean weight of the other 4 parcels is 3.3 kg. Work out the value of W. So we know that mean is simply total divided by quantity. But if we multiply both sides by quantity, we can find total. So we can see here that the mean is given of the 7 parcels, which is 2.7, and the quantity is 7. So we can actually find the total to be 7 times 2.7. So we can find this out using our calculator. 7 times 2.7 is 18.9. So we have 18.9 kilograms. That means the total weight of all 7 parcels is 18.9 kilograms. If we can subtract the total weight of the other 4 parcels, we can find the total weight of the 3 parcels, each having the weight of W. So again, we use total is equal to quantity times mean. So here we have the total of the 4 parcels is 4 times 3.3. That gives us to 4 times 3.3 gives us 13.2. 13.2. And here we have 3 times W. That simply gives us 3W. So we know that 18.9 is equal to 13.2 plus 3W. We can bring this to the other side. So we have 18.9 minus 13.2 is equal to 3W. 18.9 minus 13.2 gives us 5.7 is equal to 3W. And to isolate W, we divide both sides by 3. And we can put this into a calculator to find our answer. We have 5.7 divided by 3, which gives us 1.9 kilograms. That means W is 1.9 kilograms. Thanks for watching. Cram, then scram.